I mean, Teriaq Intense. I mean, if we're gonna keep it a buck, it's not really nothing special. You know what I'm saying about it? I mean, it's good. You know, I know this is Wednesday. It's supposed to be worth it or not Wednesday. And normally we're talking about niche and whatever. But I mean, if you are collecting fragrances, if you're into fragrances, it's just another one. But if you really just getting into the game and you trying to see what Lattafa really has to offer, I think this one is pretty good. From the house of Lattafa, we have Teriaq Intense. Yeah, it's Wednesday, people. First impression, let's talk about it. Yo, what's going on, party people, fat boy family? I hope you have had an amazing week. I hope you are warm. I'm so sick of being cold every night while spring. You're like, it's cold. It's a brick outside. Somebody gonna be like, does it even get cold in North Carolina? Listen, cold is cold. I don't care where you at. It's snowing in New Orleans and Houston, so it's crazy work out here in these streets. But hope you guys are having a great week, man. Feel free, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and while you're at it, go ahead and click the bell so you can be notified every single time I post new content to the channel. But let's go ahead and jump into today's conversation. Y'all know Wednesday is typically like our sample decant series where we're really jumping into niche, but every once in the blue moon, we'll get in a new fragrance and we'll just categorize it as first impression. And that's what we have here with this Lattafa Teriaq Intense. Now, I know this is necessarily not new to some of y'all, but it's new to me. Had this in for a little while now, but just actually open it, crack the box. And we're going to definitely dive into this because for a person like myself, who's a hobbyist, who's an enthusiast, I don't consider myself to be a connoisseur, but I know what I know. I like what I like. I love what I love. I'm pretty knowledgeable about some things. I think at this point, I think my opinion, my subjective and objective opinion on fragrances, I think is pretty well respected amongst the community. Feel how you want to feel about that. But my people rock with me. And so I think if you fit into that category, this is just another fragrance just to add to the collection, to add to the numbers taking up space. But I think it does have a place, you know, and so I'm gonna jump into that real quick, but let's just kind of go through it. I thought the presentation was kind of cool. I thought the box was kind of dope. You know, me being a designer or whatever, you know, I love different things like that. I don't know what this is, like, you know, I touched something. The box was pretty stiff, kind of crazy. Like you can hear that, like it's a plastic, but it's got this matte finish or whatever. Dropping all kind of stuff. And then the bottle, it actually kind of sits in it like that. All right, that's how it would come to you. But nonetheless, and then you look at the rest of the bottle design, man. Everybody been going ham with these snakes, yo. I don't know what the deal is with these snakes and all of that stuff, but everybody's been going ham with these snakes. You know, you can see there on the top and everything like that. But you're talking about an amber, warm, spicy fragrance with some cinnamon and some vanilla in here. And really the star of the show is the plum liquor or liqueur and the saffron that gives it some spice, that cinnamon. Like I said, it's good. It's a good scent. It's your typical Lattafa fragrance. Beautiful, beautiful opening, which is what I appreciate about this the most, with that saffron, that bergamot, and then you have some of that booziness coming in from that plum liquor. The plum here, I like the fact that they use plum liqueur, because it gives it that bit of sweetness and booziness, but that added fruit value that comes in with the bergamot and the saffron as well. And then as it starts to dry down, you get some of that cinnamon to give it that warm spice, and then the amber and everything else comes in with the tonka bean and the benzoin. But here's the thing. If you, again, are a person like I described, the opening, you're like, oh, this is nice. I love this plum booze, but it doesn't stay that way. And once it starts to dry down, you really kind of get hints eerily similar of this right here. Now, here's the thing. And this is my second bottle of Khamrah, by the way. And we still got another bottle of Kawah. This, it's not one-to-one. Like, it doesn't smell like Khamrah in any way in the opening or the middle. But once you get to the dry down, you're like, okay. There's some Khamrah elements here. And it's kind of weird because it's like, Lattafa, what are y'all doing? This is what I think happened. I think they said, let's take Khamrah that was so successful. Let's dial back the sweetness and add the fruit and the saffron to it. And that's how we ended up with this. That's honestly what I think. I think if it's not broke, don't fix it. Don't reinvent the wheel, put your own or put a different spoke in it. I think they said, yo, we like this boozy, sweet vanilla style of scent. Okay, so what's gonna be our base? And I think this has been a base for a lot of things. And the reason I say it's not something special because, you know, you start smelling stuff and everything kind of starts smelling the same. Again, the opening with this is where this really shines, but that opening does not last long already. Like, as a matter of fact, since we've been recording, this has already changed and already kind of dialed back. And so now you get more of that plum and that liquor smell. But as more the cinnamon and the amber and that begins to come through, and with that benzoin and tonka bean, and there's no vanilla in here. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not Khamrah. And I see a lot of people that have kind of compared it to Khamrah, but it's not necessarily Khamrah. It's still its own fragrance. But to me, the booziness and the sweetness of this, they used it as a template. So y'all know how CapCut, a lot of people with CapCut, people start with templates. A lot of people, when you start editing, like if you're trying to learn motion graphics and get into like After Effects, a lot of people start with templates. Premiere, you start with templates and then you kind of work your way backwards, and then that's how you learn. I feel like that's what we see with fragrances, not just Middle Eastern, but even designer and niche fragrance companies, where they're taking their most successful fragrances and they're using it as a template for other things. So again, I'm not saying that this is Khamrah in any way. I'm saying that to me, I feel like they use Khamrah as a template, and then threw that saffron in there, threw that plum, that liquor in there, and was like, let's switch it up and do something different. But it is nice. It's a nice fragrance. It's not something I'm gonna be overly crazy about because, again, the opening doesn't last long enough for me. So the projection that I would want to really get from that plum is not long lasting. That plum liquor definitely becomes sort of a skin scent after that, but it's still there. It's still there. This is, again, first impression. So I can't tell you anything about longevity. I can't tell you anything about performance as it relates to that. But that opening that I enjoyed so much was like, man, you know, and again, this is one of those things I think is perfect for date night. This is a date night scent. So like I said, we've been talking about Valentine's Day fragrances or whatever. I think if you're looking for something, his or her, I could see a lady rocking this that you're into more intense spice. I could see fellas rocking this just because of that plum liquor, that fruit nature, where you get that bergamot and that saffron. It's nice. I think it's one of the more beautiful fragrances, again, from Lattafa. This is well done. And I know people are kind of like, well, Walt, you said it's nothing special. I'm saying it's nothing special because of where I am in my journey. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just, if you're tired of Khamrah, if you're tired of all the other Lattafas that we've been talking about, and you're looking for that next thing, I think this is definitely one of those things. I think we could be at the end of the year and this potentially could take a couple of spots. As far as you talking about top Lattafas out there, top 10, I know it's at the point now, people doing top 15, top 20, top 30. I mean, they have that many fragrances where you can really judge them like that. But to me, this immediately becomes a competitor of one of their best fragrances and some of their best work. So again, I'm not killing Lattafa saying it's nothing special because it's a whack fragrance. I'm saying it's not anything that I'm like, oh my God, like you have got to have this, where you got to break your neck, where it's like, it's this new invention. like this new DNA. It's not a new DNA. Maybe let me say it like that. It's not a new life-altering DNA that I'm telling you got to run out and get. But is it an amazing fragrance based on what I see right here, based on what I'm smelling? Absolutely. Do I think it's going to be great for ladies and males? Absolutely. Again, I think this one is date night. This ain't about the daytime. This ain't about nothing else other than being grown and sexy. So with Valentine's Day around the corner and you're looking for something to get in, definitely check this out. I got this specifically from Fragrance Buy, so I will drop that down in the description. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I told y'all I'm trying to be just more direct. Let's be more cerebral with these reviews. Let me just tell you what it is that you really want to know. Somebody can be like, well, what's this a clone of? I've been talking the whole time. I told you what it's kind of related to, but it's not really a clone of anything. So it's not so much a clone. This is one of those ones where you can see Lattafa is really kind of doing their own thing, but they're using their own products, you know what I'm saying, as a base. And people are like, well, Khamrah is not their own because it's a clone of Angel Share. Feel how you want to feel. This is nothing close. I can't even say this is Angel Share with Plum. I don't think that. Nonetheless, like I said, like even now, I'm like, you get hints of Khamrah, even as it dries down. I just wish the Plum was more pronounced. Once you go to skin, you can get the Plum, but it's like, as far as in the air, what I'm smelling right here in my bubble, you don't necessarily get that Plum after like those first several minutes. Nonetheless, let me know, how do you feel about it? Do you have it? It smells great, smells amazing. I'm getting ready to go outside and go grab something to eat and go to the bank. So I know as soon as I walk in the bank, you know, my banker's gonna be like, oh my God, what you wearing? Like, tell me, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, you know what to do. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. While you're at it, go ahead and click the bell so you can be notified every single time I post another first impression to the channel. But hit them comments, let me know. Are you rocking with it? Like I said, this is not new to the community, but it is new to me. First time on the channel. I know a lot of you guys have already had this, so there's a lot of conversation that is going on about this. But yeah, I think this is some of Lattafa's better work. Better work. They're getting better. Lattafa is... y'all say what y'all want to say about these clone companies, but Lattafa is getting better. Nonetheless, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Y'all be easy.